So you guys, aside from the leg press, probably the second most common leg machine that bodybuilders will say are good for building the quads or whatever is a hack squat, the sled, right? There's a free weight variation Adam actually uses quite a bit that I've messed with a little bit, that I think is superior to the
I'm very curious of this because I have not done this move before, so I can't remember who I saw do this first, but back in the days, this was
a hack squat.
This is how they did a hack squat. Before the hack squat machine, this is how a hack squat was done. A couple things though I noticed when I first started doing it is I have to really stretch out my shoulders, my hips. You need to have really good mobility to do this, just because you're standing in front of the barbell. It's totally different than anything else that you would do. So when you get in front of the bar, I want to make sure, I want to get in about what my squat or deadlift position would be with my feet. And I'm going to be pretty close to that bar to where I can almost feel it against the back of my calves before I come down. Now the part that's key is when you go to bend over like this, most people want to round their back and their butts will be up in there. I want to be able to pull my shoulders back, and then when I get down in that position, I want to grip the bar and I want to sit the butt down.
So you want a good posture before you even attempt
your heels to come up off the ground.
Yeah,
I want to keep sure, and then I'm going to ground everything. I'll take the slack out of the bar and drive through. And when I drive through, I'm going to pull those shoulder blades back, decelerate just like if I was going to do a deadlift. Hips come back.
Excellent. Now, because of the placement of the weight and the grip of the weight, you get a lot, I don't know about you, Adam, but I feel, and my clients will feel, a lot more quad involvement. It seems to be, and you can see watching through the side here, you see a lot of knee extension as he tries to push forward with the weight behind his body at that low position. Adam, when do you inject this exercise into your...
So this would be like a variation. So instead of maybe I'm over front squats, I've been doing front squats a lot, don't feel like doing front squats, I might replace it with this.
And you still feel a lot more quad in this also?
Oh yes, yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's very quad dominant. Even though the bar's behind you, because of the angles of this, it feels very similar to like what a front squat would feel like.
One thing to pay attention to is these, these are regulation size plates. Obviously Adam's pretty strong, so he could do this with 45s or whatever. If you're not strong enough to do this, first of all, you have to have good form, but if you have good form and you're not strong enough to do it with the 45s, and you grab the smaller plates that your gym will have, you may not be able to do this exercise.
You want to set it on blocks.
Set it on blocks or put it on a rack. Put it on a rack, you want the weight to be about as high as it would be as if it had the 45s.
So if I was teaching this to somebody and it's their first time, that's a great, this is what, you might put it on that anyway. So even if you had the strength to get it up, I want to work on your mechanics. The hardest part of this movement is pulling it up off the ground. So when you're down that low, that's why I put the emphasis on the shoulder and hip mobility before you're going into it. You need to have some pretty good mobility in your hips. You need to have pretty good mobility in your shoulders to be able to get all the way down there, clear your legs when you come lift. So starting off on a rack is actually a great place to start, where maybe the bar's elevated, a good 2 feet up off the ground, and then you're only having to pick it up from this point, And
I think the key isn't even lifting the bar. The key is having good posture while you're lifting the bar.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, because if you just lift the bar, this exercise turns into something completely...
Then it's a waste of your time.
Yeah, completely different.
It's also great, and we talk about this a lot, and anytime we can do a movement that promotes that good posture, it really forces me to pull my shoulder blades back, because if they're rounded forward, the bar's gonna drag up your calf and the back of your leg. So you want to be in that retracted position, so when I come up with the bar is clearing my hamstrings, it's clearing my calves. If my shoulders are rolled forward, that bar is going to be dragging against my legs. So it really promotes that good posture before you pull up. You're going to end up rolling your legs like you're kneading dough. So that's how you would know if you need to work on that shoulder mobility, is if you try to do this the first time and you're dragging up your hamstrings a lot to get up there, got to open those shoulders up so you can pull them back.
It's not a heavyweight exercise, although I have seen people use some pretty impressive weight. It's more of a feel exercise.
Yeah, you want to get it down. I can pull some pretty good weight actually with this, but I took time before I got up to that point. I mean, these are what, 45s basically on each side. So for me, that's a pretty light weight. I deadlift and squat a lot more weight than that. But to work on the mechanics first and how you're trying to move the bar, then you can start. You'd be surprised how much weight you can get up to on these.
Excellent.